I don't have
We'll
one.
figure it out.
We'll figure it
I
out.
promise I'm going to write a theme song at some point.
Give him 3 seconds and, like, a prompt. But...
Beep, 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 beep.
It really should just be that, I feel like.
I think it's going to be that.
Yeah, the rolling waves nonsense is very good. So hello, welcome to Thicc, Not It Us. We are doing, if you didn't catch the tweet, for what we're doing today, we're handling some fun stuff, actually. Things that we are doing today involve, we're taking a look at Undersea River, which was what we did last week. Josh has, meanwhile, since finished all 12 pages and 96 measures of that particular nonsense, which I'm very excited about, because I haven't heard it either. So, we get to all watch it together, as it were. And then we're going to tackle something a little different today. We're not going to do a sea shanty, per se. We're going to do a space shanty, because, for those of you who don't know, I'm playing in an Expanse game coming up in the next couple of weeks. I think our first episode is 2 weeks from this past Thursday. And that meant that I had to binge watch the show before I got to play this game, because I like doing research.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
Fully
research.
for research.
Sure, yeah. So I've been binge watching the show, and one of the things they feature in one of the later seasons is the Ballad of Captain Kidd, which is like an old 1700s sea shanty about a pirate. Who's not a good guy. But what it shows back up in The Expanse in Season 3 and Season 4. The Expanse has done a really good job of linking music from Earth onto into space through music and sort of like folk tales and things like that. So we're going to take a look at that. Also, because I am a glutton for punishment and went into the Expanse game not knowing a thing about what is happening, I was like, I'm going to play a Belta. And they were like, oh, by the way, Beltas have their own language. And I was like, what? And they do. It's called Lang Belta in the canon. It's a Creole version. It's a Creole language. And what it meant was I had to figure out a way to learn Lang Belta in about 2 weeks. I'm not there yet, but I figured this would be a pretty decent chunk of practice, because the character that sings the Ballad of Captain Kidd in Season 3 and 4, and we're going to do our absolute best to avoid spoilers for those of you who plan on watching the show.
Yes.
Like, Josh and me.
Yeah, like I have not made it to Season 4 yet, so
Yep.
when it was like, oh, it also comes back in Season 4, I was like, do not click a link, please.
Yep. That's why I sent Josh all the spoiler-free links instead, so he didn't have to go looking for them. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the Lang Belta Creole version of the Ballad of Captain Kidd, which has, I believe, 4 verses out of the, 12 the song may potentially have at any given moment. And we're going to write the rest. That show, Tori, is The Expanse, which is a show that we are doing. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to figure it out. I'm excited. That being said, once again, we're going to go over our, pretty standard stuff. This is our last stream for our Tiltify campaign in support of the Veil Project. And y'all have done fantastic. Oh, yep. Nightbot works! Bless!
Okay, now is Nightbot going to kick our friends out?
I don't think so.
Because Nightbot was a real bully to Ashley last week.
I turned off most of Nightbot's auto turn off stuff. If it becomes a problem, it's gonna be a thing. But if Nightbot is bullying you, please let us know. We will tamp down on that nonsense. But that being said, we are at $130 out of our $250 goal for Tiltify, and every donation you make.
I'm sorry. It's just... I have so many questions.
I have none, actually, because I don't want to know any of that. So, our Tiltify campaign is going to, in the service of the Veil Project. We are at 130 out of our 250 goal. We've got $120 left to do today! Question mark. But that being said, if you do donate to the Veil Project through our Tiltify campaign, any donation over $10 gets you an automatic entry to win your own custom sea and or space shanty, I suppose, because we're doing those now.
Or, I don't know, air shanty.
Shanty.
Maybe you want
a land
shanty.
Land. land shark pirates.
That one random guy that was alluded to in the Castlevania most recent
Oh yeah,
some dude that put a boat on wheels and is pirating the land.
yeah, that one was pretty great. Oh, that's very good. That guy is hysterical in the actual games. So yeah, if you want to be a land pirate or a sea pirate or an air pirate or a space pirate, donate $10 to our Tiltify project for the Tiltify for the Bale project, and you'll enter the chance to win your own custom shanty. The pool is very small right now, folks. You have the chance to win. It's a lot of winning right there.
Mm-hmm.
And since, Josh, you put that in the chat, you get to talk about it. Ba-boom.
That's fair.
Delegation.
That's good delegation. I accept it. We also will continue to post different petitions, different Black Lives Matter petitions relating around George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor. These are petitions to the local governments that each of these people were, of the states they were from, petitioning to ask them to not only fire, but to arrest and lock up the people that were responsible for their deaths. These are really important causes. These people were taken from us far too soon by police brutality. And if you feel moved, we would love for you to hop on there, sign these petitions, send them to your friends. Even just sharing them makes a huge difference. And back with our Tiltify campaign, we understand that money is a different thing for everyone. And if you are not in a place where you can financially support this campaign, we understand. And again, with that, sharing also makes a world of difference. And it is something that does not cost a cent for you. But yeah, so we'll probably post those again in an hour or so and talk about them more. But between then, we're going to talk some shanties. So, John, we left last week with about 2 verses finished in Undersea River, which again is based on the song Ashes from The Longest John's most recent album, Cures What Ails Ya. It's one of their original songs. It's incredible. It was written for their group and a guitar, essentially. Yes, Undersea River is Xander's song. And so we left with that, and then I spiraled hard and spent the next 24 hours writing everything except the last verse. And then today I was like, it's been a week, and hopped on and finished the song. So the first draft is done, and I thought it might be fun to look at that to start with. But before we get into that, something that we've forgotten to do in 2 weeks in a row now. Hi, I'm Josh Blue. And this is my Twitter above me, @JBlueTenor. This is where you can find me. You can find both of us at Thicc Notes on Twitter. Wait, is that the right direction? No, at Thicc Notes on Twitter. There we go. And Jonathan, what's yours?
Hey, I'm Ryan Moss. You can find me on Twitter above my head because I did it smart and put them there so I could just do this all day. Is that what the fuck were we doing? What else were we doing?
It was just a quick. This is who we are.
Yeah. Josh is a dope singer, and I'm a person. So other than that,
how dare you?
So
John is a brilliant lyricist.
Oh my lord, go away.
We uplift in this house, and I will menacingly point my afro pick at you if I have
to. Fair. I need to get a quill, a fake feather quill pen just to brandish it angrily at you. Yeah, so I think we're gonna start with taking a look at Undersea River, because that's the one that we've got so far. I think Josh also put the verses in the lyrics, so we don't have to bounce back and forth. You can just follow the line along for the solo.
Yep, I just have to finish putting where all the verses are, but everything's in there.
Alrighty.
An afro pick would make a fantastic improvised melee weapon. They're a little flimsy, but if you reinforce these bad boys...
I mean, it's just basically an angry stabby thing.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. We knew what we were doing when we made them. Shall we transition?
Mm-hmm. I was waiting on you. All right. Oh, I need to...
Oh, well, nailed it.
Whoop. All right, we're good.
Yep.
Hi, welcome to my Discord.
Oh. Hey!
Oops.
Okay, so I guess we're just going to kind of play this from the beginning because the only two people in the world that have heard this entire song are me and Ashley. And Ashley has been so helpful. Luckily, she is really, really good at like John's got creating the lyrics and I've got creating the music, and Ashley is so good at finding the right way to layer those two together, because there's so many times where I'm like, how do I put these 8 notes here? And she helps. So this would not have been possible without her as well. So let's give this a listen, and let me know if it comes out.
I can't hear it. Hold up.
Oh, can't hear it?
No.
All right, well, let's make it work and keep talking about general things while I figure out why it's not doing that.
It's not a stream. It's not a stream without technical issues.
You know, it's always something, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah. So, oh Lord.
So the impetus for like this kind of piece, and we talked about it last week, and we'll talk about it a little more, is that the piece itself was originally written for, like I said, it was written for guitar and singers. And we decided that the best move for this, because a lot of times when we do shanty singing, but also thinking in my head for, could we do this at a convention with a group of people? How do we get it where we don't need to have an instrument with us? Because if I owned a guitar, the last thing I would want to do is try and walk it through a convention, because there are so many people and I would be so worried about it. Yep. So we turned it into an a cappella piece.
On the other hand, are we going to get a guitar and walk it through a convention? Yes.
Yes.
But
that's not important.
Look,
I'm so confused. You heard it fine a second ago.
I heard it fine 30 seconds ago. I don't know why it's being a little butt now.
It's being a real butt.
You want to try it again? See if I can hear it?
I haven't done literally anything new, but sure.
Maybe it changes it. I don't know. Nope. Okay. That did nothing.
Well, what the penis? John, talk about things to the people.
Anyways, so yeah, speaking of dragging a guitar through a convention, if/when those become a thing again, because, wear masks and social distance like responsible people, okay? Oh, and he closed the Discord on me. We're going to bounce back to the whoop.
I did.
That's full. That's cool.
Did.
So, for those of you who aren't aware, Josh and I showed up to numerous conventions in the same years without knowing each other existed for like 3 or 4 years in a row. Because the tabletop gaming community is gigantic, but also surprisingly small. So, what we're planning on doing at some point in the... Hello, Cora!
Hi!
So for those of you who don't know, if/when Josh and I, God fucking...
I can be John, whatever works.
I mean, J names, alright? Like, so if at some point, or whatever, that Josh and I can both end up at a convention together, we're planning on doing a sea shanty little, like, gathering sing-along thing. Now, it's probably not going to be a full panel, because I don't want to, like, force people to sit in a room with us for an hour. But what we're probably going to do is we're going to find a corner of the convention, sit down, chillax, sing some stuff with some folks, teach people songs.
We'll
and then
do that
just go.
fun, like, when it's like midnight-ish and everyone's done with their games and they're like, but I don't want to go home yet. Like, that's the moment.
Yeah,
like when
that's
all
the
that's
time
left are the few late-night games that are running, and then you just got people like playing board games in the corners. That's it.
That's going to be us.
Specifically Gen Con, when there's like weirdly still 1,000 people there, but most people are gone.
Yep, where like, it's the hallways are actually empty and you can walk around without hitting people in the fucking shoulders. Oh, God.
What a delight.
Crowded cons. Ugh.
All right, let's try playing this again now that it's been shared. I just basically reshared it, hoping that changed shit.
All right, well, I'm going to stick on this sheet for now, and then we'll see if the music works. Yep, now I can hear it.
Okay.
You know what? There we go. And maybe we'll do it at a Boston Con if Josh gets his butt up here at some point for a Boston Con. Or,
I mean, I've got time. Thanks, COVID.
Yeah, I mean, but we don't have cons either. Thanks, COVID.
Well, I mean, yeah, but if the cons come back before 2021, I got nothing going on.
Oh, boy.
All right, let's play this and see if you can hear it. And there it is.
Yeah, that's syncopation though. Can we just like go back and play that? Because that was real good.
Oh, which one?
The eighth note syncopations. Yeah, right in the middle.
Oh, the one with all the little bop and 16th notes.
Uh-huh.
It's those two verses together that have like my favorite syncopation bits. And syncopation again, you know, will it's these moments when you have like all the beats hitting at different times where you think you've got this, you know, this constant thing running in your head where you go, oh yeah, that's what the tune sounds like. And then the music goes bop, 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 because I am a glutton for musical punishment.
Glarenbaum, if you're wondering why it sounds familiar and you can't place it, the opening chords of this song are basically the chords to Scarborough Fair.
Yep. The chord progression is the chord progression of Jolene.
Uh-huh.
And the tenor 2 line, which I wrote being like, what a cool original thing I've written. And then I listened to and I went, that's Zelda.
Yeah, the tenor 2 line.
Singing, looking for storms.
Yep, and so it's an interesting little sort of trick of musicality where all of the things remind you of certain things, but not quite. A lot of folk music is like that in general, and where it all sort of it all has very similar chord structures and things, because a lot of it is the similar songs turned into different pieces. For example, one of the songs we're going to be doing later, which we are doing the Ballad of Captain Kidd from specifically the version from The Expanse, is the one we're going to sort of tackle and sort of make. It was essentially made from another. It shares a tune with, I don't remember which one came first, with another Irish folk song called Sam Hall. It's also about the. I see Peter has entered the channel. What up, Peter? For those of you who don't know, Peter and I both hang out on the Asians Represent server a lot, and our traditional greeting to each other is "What's up, coward?" It's just a thing. He's super chill, not being a dick. Well, being a dick, but we approve.
Being a loving, friendly dick.
Yeah. So
good.
Yeah. So why don't we do that again?
Do you want to hear those two funky verses?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So basically, like I can say, so the tenor 2 part has been doing this like Song of Storms this whole time, going da 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 And then I was like, how can I make this more fun? So we syncopated a little bit, and we get da 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 da, which is really good when you pair it with the fact that we've got these notes coming in the tenor one that kind of fill the gaps in the piece as it's playing. So you never really have a gap in the music as you listen to it, but your ear bounces from tenor 2 to tenor 1, down to baritone, down to bass, and it keeps you constantly just like, oh God, where are we? Which is my favorite thing to do to people in music.
Is to throw them for a loop.
Because then they feel so much better when we get back to, oh, okay, now I remember. Oh, look, the anxiety in me sees the anxiety in everyone that listens to any music I've written ever.
Here's a taste of my brain.
Here's those two verses. That is that funky syncopation that we love so much. I have sung through every single line in the piece, start to finish, to make sure that it is singable. It's tricky, but it is singable.
Yeah, which means that Josh will inevitably one day be like, I have no breaks, and make a full demo version of the whole thing with himself. So when we get that, we'll
I would never do that.
You've done it 3 times already. Don't.
I will have it in 1 to 2 weeks.
Fair.
Yep. So yeah, that's that funky syncopation. We also talked about a really fun and simple trick that composers use is when you take 2 notes on one line and 3 notes on another line, but you make them occupy the same amount of time. Mm-hmm. So that's we have here in this second measure up top with the baritone and bass. You have the baritone has 2 notes here, but the bass has 3 notes, but they both occupy the same space. So you have the bass going, and then you have the baritone going, so it gets this really fun da 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 da, which you hear in a lot of. I mean, it exists in a lot of music. There's a weird kind of simplified version of it that you hear a lot in Lord of the Rings music, when you have the dum 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 dum. It's just 3 verse 2, except it's spread out as opposed to on top of each other. Excuse me, I had Chipotle because my heart told me I wanted it, and my body is now aggressively disagreeing with that choice.
I mean, I'm still eating food literally as we do this stream, so
it's fine. That's as far as I'll get into the specifics of it. Out of respect for everyone here.
Yeah, if you hear a sudden rumbling noise, it's not the music. So
yeah, that's this piece. That's Undersea River. It's written in 5 parts. I'll say it before. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I will continue saying it until the day that I die. Just because it says tenor 1, tenor 2, baritone, baritone, bass does not mean that only men can sing this piece.
Yeah.
They are just definitions of vocal ranges. If you can sing it, you can sing it. I don't care who you are. And if someone says that that's wrong, then I will literally fight them on both my behalf and yours, because that's garbage. And everyone should be able to sing the stuff they like to sing.
Throw hands and staves.
I will throw so many staves. I will stop people and I will put them under arrest. Sorry. It was a whole bit. I apologize.
Why am I friends with you? All right.
Because I am you.
Touche. So. Okay. Well, we're gonna play it one more time. I think the whole way through for people who may have joined us halfway through, if you
sure.
in case. Also, because I want to hear it again. But after that, we'll jump into the new stuff, I guess. I'm
gonna do something that I do about every 3 seconds, like I'm playing a video game, and that's hit save.
I feel that. That's a move. Yep.
Yup. I did absolutely pick up a copy of Desperados 3.
Yeah, I saw you do play that, and I was like, oh,
you made the mistake of showing it to me, and I was like, I want it. My bank went, but wait, and I went, too late, bank.
I know, which is awful, because my bank was like, you can't afford that. I was like, I know, bank, don't worry. And the next thing I know, I see Josh is playing Desperado 3. I'm like, you motherfucker.
You sneaky son of a
You absolute cheeky dick waffle.
But boy, am I saving every 3 seconds in that game.
Seriously, though. Oh,
okay,
my
though.
God.
So we are about to... Happy Saturday!
Happy Saturday! Also, that's great, because Danny just walked in, so now Danny can hear the song.
Perfect. We have completed the shanty from last week, and we are going to play it from start to finish again. For anyone who has heard it before, you get to hear it again. Lucky you! And for anyone that hasn't heard it yet, here it is for the first time. It is completely done. It is unfortunately not in 69 as a
yeah, it's a little unfortunate
BPM, but it would be buck wild if it was. It would be so fast.
Can we shift it to 42 to make another nerd joke? Is an extra 4 beats BPM going to be too slow?
It's going to get real slow.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens. Well, let's not see. Let's play with that later. I don't want to
We'll toy with it later.
I don't want to play a really boring song for people.
No, I initially put it in 42 because I was like, another nerd number, and then I was like, oh no, they're never going to be able to sing that.
Oh yeah, no, he is me. Okay. So. Yeah. All right.
So here's Undersea River, start to finish, for 5 parts.
Ooh, wait. Can you mix the melody up a little louder?
I mean, it's already as high as it can go.
Okay,
so
can you mix everything else a little lower?
How about a... somewhere around
Yeah.
there?
That should be fine.
Let's try that.
All right.
Okay, now we're going to do it.
Whoop, whoop.
it is in its entirety.
God, that's so fucking good.
It's I love it.
The suspension at the end of the second to last verse is just so much fun. Oh,
it's just I love the piece. Obviously, I'm very close. I'm very close to it because it's about my sweet Xander boy in our Dungeons and Dragons game. But also, like, you know, from a compositional standpoint, the piece starts out, you know, without getting too much into the deep nerdy lore of Typhesia, which we could talk about all day. But in our dungeons, in our particular Dungeons and Dragons game, Typhesia is the Lady of the Deep Reefs. She is, you know, an incredibly powerful, magical, whatever you want to call her, fae, sea witch, whatever works for you. She also happens to be the mother of my character Xander, which we didn't know until the end of season 1, because up until then we all thought she was my stepmom. It's a whole thing. But this piece has a very kind of nihilistic approach to life and the way life works. That I think Xander, the character, is really feeling in this new, as we kind of get into this new season. But the piece, like, without even looking at
players, I'm not
you
sorry.
hurt your players. I'm not sorry either. We will post on the Twitter images of Xander so you can see this sad boy. Also, yeah, hey, we have art.
We do. We have
art for our whole thing now, which is really cool. That was done by @TinySpidey on Twitter, and they're great. And I love my little Jefferson-looking ass baton wielding.
It was a really good capture of the way we wanted to express the dynamics of this partnership.
It's big us energy. Even today, John's in all black. I got a little splash of color. Here we are. But yeah, so even without looking at the lyrics of the piece as a whole, if we just look at the music from a compositional standpoint, it starts out with that drone, you know, all those notes just stacked on top of each other and going through. There's not a lot of movement. It just is. And this is kind of that idea of life is moving forward. You might not be able to see it in its entirety, but it's moving. And as the piece goes, it starts to get more complicated. And I think of this as, like, you know, when you think of like an undersea current that you can't see from the top of the ocean. Underneath, there's action, there's movement. You know, life continues to move forward. This is really Typhesia. This is her whole, like, idea of regardless of what you want to happen or regardless of what you think is going to happen, things are going to happen without any control of yours. You know, the world keeps moving on. And then it gets even more chaotic, and you go, oh God, what's happening? But still, that same tune is chugging on. I think what was really important was to have the melody of the tune continue to be, like, the same throughout the piece, so that when you have everything around it, you're like, oh, I don't know what's happening anymore. But Typhesia is going, don't worry, I have a plan. It's cool. I'm going to keep going. I'm not worried by this. Then you get these, like, militant chug-a-lugs, the da-da-da, 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 and it's like a really heightened intensity. I started to add a little bit more dissonance in the music. So dissonance is, you know, when you think of a chord, you hear da-da-da-da-da, that's your chord. Any other note I throw in there is going to be dissonant to that chord. And I threw a little bit of dissonance in the writing to make you listen to it and go, this feels better, but something still feels wrong. And you get to the end, the final verse, and we return back to the exact way the piece started. We go back to the droning. I add some kind of funky, you know, I had like a B major 7 chord, which is just this fun little bit here where you get these 4 notes together that are really crunchy, and then it goes back. But once we get to Chug-a-Lug is a official Juilliard term. Actually, I learned it while I was getting my master's degree. But as we get to the very end of the piece, we hear the exact same 3 notes that we heard at the beginning, that da da da, to show that even in this entire journey, like, it came back from whence we came. You know, we started and we ended the same way, and that is, like, the entire like life, the entire thesis upon which Typhesia's life is written. There's nothing you can do about it. You're going to end up the same way, so you might as well hold on tight for the ride. And Xander's definitely not in a bad emotional place because of that or anything, but whatever.
Once again, I'm not apologizing.
Yeah.
So, real quick, and since we're on this one, I want to jump over to the lyrics real quick, just so y'all can have a quick to of how we did it, since just it's been a week, and God knows I forget everything that happened within the last week, so, some other people might. So specifically, as we mentioned, Undersea River is a cover and rearranging of The Longest John's Ashes, which is a song off their new album, Cures What Ails You. It's very good. It's a very good... Longest Johns are great. Just go listen to them if you like shanties. And the sort of the way we wrote it was, if you look at the lyrics for the song, it starts with a mentions of spring and sort of the opening cycle post-winter, and it goes through the seasons. I hit it over the head a bit with a hammer, just being like, these are seasonal metaphors. Spring, summer, and fall and winter are in every verse. Shut up. But like it worked out really well for the construction of it too, because we decided sort of later on in the development that Typhisia was very much about cycles. That tied in very well with the other version of this song, The Pledge of the Unbroken Ocean, which is another character's sea shanty that has written this exact melody and is going to be arranged differently because it's for different voice parts and for different ranges. But as we get around to the ending of the song, once we get past the four seasonal cycle verses, that's kind of where you get where Typhesia's personality comes in from, and the way she is she's very polite and she's very formal and caring in her way, but she doesn't actually need anything from you. Because at the end of the day, you are part of the cycle, she is part of the cycle, and the cycle will continue on even if you choose to ignore it or to fight it. It doesn't get it, like the ocean, or to quote a magic card, the unicorn doesn't care if you believe in it as much as you care that it believes in you. So the cycle exists. It doesn't care whether or not you believe in it. It doesn't care whether or not you accept what's going to happen. It will continue, and you'll either be sucked in along with it or thrown off of it. And that's kind of the only two ends. So she's very polite. You're muted. You're muted.
Son of a technology. I was gonna say that's where everyone's, and by everyone's I mean everyone but me's least favorite verse, verse 5. Well, John loves it too. Is a painful verse.
Yes.
Because it is literally like, the lady has not the politeness to give, for she knows at the end that she'll surely outlive. The anger of those who just can't forgive her gives way to the flow of the undersea river. And it's just Typhesia being like, get mad. It's not gonna change anything.
Yeah, and that's the thing for Typhisia too. She accepts that you are mad and you have reasons to be mad, and so be mad. But it doesn't matter in the long run. Like you can character spoilers for when the players meet Typhisia, and I know half of them are lurking in this fucking chat.
Oh, they're in there.
Oh, I know. But if they show up, if when y'all inevitably go to confront Typhisia, keep the lyrics in mind, because they inform a lot about the way she is, and you will have heard them probably at this point by the time you get there.
Yeah, this is a piece that you will have heard Xander sing eventually before you meet her. Yeah,
no, absolutely. Go be mad. It'll be a bit interesting to see how those two things collapse. And at the last verse at the very end is, at the end of our days, Typhisia wanders. When the cycle is done, she'll spin up and onwards. That does two things, which is really great. In the version written for Rowan, which is Ashley's character in the D&D verse, there is a line that goes, spin onwards and up on the great wheel of life, because her god is about motion and moving, and so cycles are part of that, but it's all aiming up. It's aiming up to, the things that you are desiring, and that's what you're supposed to chase for that. Typhesia's cycle spins up and onwards, where it moves up and leaves you behind. it doesn't care whether or not you're chasing it. It doesn't care. It will move the way it wants to. So I got to do a really cool thing where I got to invert those two to sort of rhyme in the opposite ways, just to express the differences between what is Rowan's god Bakunawa and Typhesia, who is, you know, this other sort of deity, like powerful figure in the oceans, and they both sort of have different philosophies and crash into which ones they emphasize in the cycle of water in the oceans, which is kind of cool.
Hey, listener and viewer, John is very good at this. It's buck wild how his brain spins off into 2 or 3 different versions of the same song, and then I didn't even realize he had done this.
It's great. I think that's really fun. And then if you look, as Typhesia wanders, when the cycle is done, she'll leave. Yes, thank you, Peter. I am, in fact, very good at being a nerd.
Yeah.
And Typhesia will basically, when the cycle is done, whenever that is, whether it's today, tomorrow, when the planet ends over, she'll wander on to the next one. She'll move on to the next cycle, is the way the song ends, and then because she's an overseer for the most part, and the one who keeps the cycle.
Maybe she needs to check out the cycle on a different plane. Maybe she's called somewhere else. Maybe she's just gonna, turn to coral and be done with it.
Yep. Who knows?
Who knows?
So that's sort of where she comes from. Actually, what I will do real quick is I'm going to bounce over the introduction so I can pull up something else. That's hysterical. So the other lyrics we have here for Pledge of the Unbroken Ocean, if you want the pitch I was talking about, they're literally right here. Spin onward and up is the exact same lyrical phrase inverted. Spin up and onwards.
You sumbitch.
So.
How dare you be so good at this?
But yeah, so and even on looking at this one, right? The difference is this Bakunawa's the Pledge of the Unbroken Ocean. So quick campaign backstory for those of you who are still with us at this point. Bakunawa is the god of motion and desire and parts and the ocean, and she encourages her worshippers and her followers to chase what it is that they desire, whatever that is, because that is what keeps the universe in motion, is the constant moving forward of the people there. And before you're that's chasing whatever you want could be anything from going on great adventures to loving someone wholeheartedly, or you really I don't know, fucking pirate's booty, the popcorn, and you really want to just work to get all those and eat them alone in your home. Bakunawa don't give a fuck. It's just whatever it is you truly desire, chase it and go after it. I do like
the booty.
Right? It's great. So
big booty fan here. Where are my fellow big booty fans at? No, just me. No. That's fine.
So when her time is end, when they call it the story, yeah, I was like, Cora, where are you at? So when you get to the end of Bakunawa's pledge, hers is about the great story end, and it cares about what the lives you've lived are, and that those you love will continue on in the motion that you have tried to show and live, and that's what brings you on to what the Unbroken Ocean is, which is in this thing is our sort of, in this song it's the verbiage for essentially the afterlife or whatever the concept of heaven is. And then you look at that in stark contrast to Undersea River, and this one is just so when you die, and it's just going to keep going. Don't worry about it.
Well, I think that's the biggest tell between the two songs is in that final line in every one, where we have "She'll guide us with waves to the unbroken ocean" is what is it, Bacchanal? I keep wanting to say baklava because I'm still hungry. So
Josh's god is food, as is mine.
I mean, whereas we are thick boys.
Yeah.
So in Rowan's piece with Bacchanal, it's "She'll guide us with waves," And in Xander's piece, it's going to give way to the flow. We'll return to the flow. You know, this is less of, it's not a guiding thing. It's a thing that's going to happen whether you know it's happening, don't know it's happening, are prepared for it. Like, it's happening. And that completely changes that feeling that you get from when Rowan sings. And it's like, oh, we're going to have a guide and she's going to be there and she's going to make sure we're okay. It hurts when you put them side by side.
Did I do that on purpose? Absolutely not.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. So, Pledge of the Unbroken Ocean and Undersea River are two... I wrote this to kind of give the two characters in our campaign two very different approaches to life, because we've sort of worked out where they're coming from. Eventually, I'm going to write a shanty, I think, for every single character.
Oh, no, we're absolutely doing that. Everyone's going to get a shanty.
Keep saying the two songs are like that. Yeah! Well, kind of.
There's definitely a millennial Gen Z split in there.
Yeah.
One is like, you know, we're going to get through this and we're going to make it and it's going to be okay in the end. And the other one is like, fuck me up, fam.
Yep.
But yeah, everyone's gonna... Oh, do you want to come physically say the thing, Ashley?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Come on in and come physically say the thing.
It's just the Thicc Note stream. What do we care?
Ashley! She's coming.
I'm still so nervous about being bullied by the bot, even with the bot.
The bot is off. It's not gonna bully you anymore. You're safe. Can you come in? Do you want to come into the...
Hi.
Hello.
So... My thought keeps being that, like, you have the Xander one of, like, it's all a part of a bigger cycle, and you just, sad. And then the Rowan's is like, it's all a part of a bigger cycle. Get some pirates booty.
Yep.
Find the thing that brings you joy during this short period of time.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah,
I'm
Rowan's...
still nervous about getting bullied by the bot. I'm gonna go now. I love you all. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, Xander is basically just, then perish. And Rowan's is, can I offer you an egg in this trying time? That's the two.
Yes.
Those are the two big moods to the song, really.
Also, that was my partner, Ashley.
This entire thing is her fault.
This entire thing is 1,000,000,000% her fault. Because she was like, hey, this guy reminds me of my best friend. They should meet. And then we met, and she went, oh no.
And we went, oh yes. It's very bad.
She just said she demands to be best man at the wedding.
Fair, honestly. I'm down for that. Cool. Let's eat dinner in the same room first. Come on. So, that is Undersea River. What we're gonna do real quick is... Actually, that's a solid hour. Good stuff.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna hop into the next section of this, which is us... Well, it's us being nerdy about The Expanse and taking a look at this from start. So, really quickly, I'm going to talk about The Expanse stuff now. We're going to get all of the non-spoilers out of the way, so I don't have to talk about them again, because I don't want to spoil them again. So The Expanse, it's a sci-fi show. It was on, I don't remember where it was on before.
What?
Oh,
you
no,
mean where you can find The Expanse?
No, I don't remember what network it was on before. I think it was Sci-Fi.
Sci-Fi.
Yes,
it's
but
Sci-Fi.
And then Sci-Fi canceled it, and then Amazon Prime picked it up, so it's now on Amazon Prime.
I will say, and this is the only time I will say it.
Yep.
It's the only time I've been grateful for Jeff Gablis, whose name I refuse to say correctly, because they canceled it on Sci-Fi, and Jeff Beelzebub opened up his bank account and was like, I like this. And Sci-Fi was like, all right, yeah, no, we'll keep making it. And he single-handedly brought it back.
Yeah.
Only time I'll be grateful to him. That's it. He doesn't get another one.
So, The Expanse has gone on for 4 seasons now. And in the 3rd season, a character by the name of Clace Ashford, and I absolutely know this is, Thingy is not going to get it right, so I'm going to spell it out for you. Klaes Ashford. The Ashford part was right. So, a character named Claes Ashford shows up on the show, and I'm not going to spoil anything about him, but one of the things he does sing is a version of the sea shanty, The Ballad of Captain Kidd, or Captain Kidd for short, depending on what iteration of the song you're looking at. The Ballad of Captain Kidd. Lovely. That's a great shanty. Let's do that. That's perfect.
He do a stab, he is a bab, he in the sea, please let him be the story of audacity.
Well, perfect. There you go. There's your shanty. We're working on it. It's gonna be like a badoop 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 thing.
It's to the tune of so early in the morning. Up silos and up silos and up silos early in the morning. We'll look at it next.
What is? Oh my God! What is that? There's more to song. There's a shanty like that.
It is a shanty from Black Flag.
No, I know like that, but there's another one like that doesn't follow that exact structure. Oh. Last Pirates of the Saskatchewan.
Oh!
We should do that for Audacity.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what we're gonna do.
This is this week's version of us trying to remember songs by just yelling at each other.
Yeah, if you check back in the clips from last week, we have the classical opera version of us singing badly the Don Giovanni at you.
We promised to write the whole thing with unbuttoned white shirts blowing in the wind.
Okay, so I need to find a fan.
I've got a fan somewhere.
I don't have an unbuttoned white shirt with me now, but I can definitely get one for later.
We'll get it. We'll Boys to Men the whole thing.
Yeah, so actually, I think that's a really good one to do, honestly. Like, the Pirates
I'm so down to do that.
Because it's very fucking
We'll add it to the already incredibly full list.
Yes. For those of you who don't know, it's a joke shanty about a pirate on a landlocked river. Like, there is no pirating happening whatsoever. It's just, and it's a hee-haw, hi-ho, coming down the plains, stealing wheat and barley and all the other grains. And it's a ho-hee-hi-ho, farmers bar your doors when you hear them. Yeah, something down the insert something shores. It has no shore. The place they're talking about has no shore. It's landlocked.
It's a very good. This is our pirate car boat.
Yeah.
Look, if they can make a car that looks like an Oscar Mayer wiener, we can make a car that's just a pirate ship.
You know what? There was one. They were selling a pirate float for a while, and you could have bought it and had your own pirate ship that could travel around on land.
Yeah, but I need a pirate ship that can go at least 60.
That's fair. Gotta outrun the Navy/police.
Yep.
So, okay. So, bookmarking Pirates of Saskatchewan for later, for Audacity, because that's a very good one. And we'll do that. So, let's talk about the Ballad of Captain Kidd. And then why this is going to be specifically a pain for me and nobody else.
Take that. I had to write a whole original song last week.
I know you did, and you did it real well, and I have to now pretend to learn a language in 2 hours. Alright, so, the Ballad of Captain Kidd. So, actually, this was also a pain for Josh for one really silly reason.
Yep.
Which is, there are 800 bajillion thousand versions of this song that exist, and unlike something like Bully in the Alley, which we did, I think, 2 weeks ago now, Bully in the Alley, kind of no matter what version you listen to, sounds the same. This is not the case with the Ballad of Captain Kidd, even fucking remotely. So I'm gonna toss up some Spotify for you real quick, because this is fair use, Spotify! Fight me! We're doing this for educational purposes. So.
Man, people's gotta learn!
People's gotta learn. So, the version of Captain Kidd, that the song is based on, well, there's a lot. So, let's talk about the Great Big Sea version. Because the Great Big Sea wrote like a rock pop version of the Ballad of Captain Kidd that uses all the lyrics and sounds really kind of weird, honestly. And then that's kind of a version that has sort of stuck. So a lot of people, like, for example, Pirates of New Providence have covered it, as like the Jolly Rogers, etc. So I'm going to play like a snippet of a couple of those just so you can sort of see, even among those, how there's some variance. So this is the one by the Great Big Sea, which is like, this is too happy.
My name is Captain Kidd, as I sailed, oh my name is Captain Kidd, as I sailed. My name is Captain Kidd, and God's laws I did forbid, and most wickedly I did as I sailed. My father taught me well to shun the gates of hell, but against him I rebelled as I sailed.
So there's like that version, right? Etc.
It sounds like the end of like an early 2000s like rom-com.
Yeah,
like,
a little
like
bit actually.
Sequence.
A little bit, right? And then there's like the Pirates of the New Providence one. These are all on Spotify. You can look them up if you want to. And it kind of follows a similar lyrical structure. But now this one's a little bit more like in minor and a bit more somber-ish.
My name is Captain Kidd, as I sailed, as I sailed. My name is Captain Kidd, as I sailed.
But still kind of got that kind of jilty, like, lilt to it.
Kidd, God's laws I did forbid, and most wickedly I did. As I sailed, most wickedly I did, as I sailed.
So that one has a bit more of, like, the tavern, like, you know, boots stomping on the ground, people banging on tables, kind of rhythmic, sort of to it. Now I'm going to play you the version from The Expanse's actual soundtrack.
It just gets so slow.
It does. It gets real slow. This is the well. We're going to cover it for a second. So the Ballad of Captain Kidd version on the Expanse official soundtrack sounds something like this. It is like real singer-songwriter in a coffee shop vibe.
Oh, I steered from sound to sound as I sailed. I steered from sound to sound, and many ships
It's got big live
I
music in the corner of a
found.
Potbelly's energy.
And all of them
Like,
I
again,
burned
modern
as
tavern.
I sailed,
Kind of okay
as
with that,
I
right?
Sailed.
And so that changes the narrative conversion a bit of the lyrics. So it only repeats as I sailed at the bottom half of the song, etc. And if you'll notice, it starts out on the. I'm showing you on the lyrics here. It starts out sort of halfway down, like here. And now here's the version that David Stradern sings, playing Claes Ashford in The Expanse. And that version is by Carl Peterson, and it's like a dirge. And you've heard all of these versions. This one is nothing like any of them. In terms of the way it... Like, there's some sort of lyrical and musical, like, similarities, but it's a completely different vibe, and it's weird.
Oh, me name is Captain Kidd, as I sailed, as I sailed. Oh, me name is Captain Kidd, as I sailed. Oh, me name is Captain Kidd, and God's laws I did forbid, and most wickedly I did, as I sailed.
So that's the version that is used like in terms of melody and the way they sing it in the actual show.
So slow.
So slow. And then just because I know Josh will get annoyed with me if I don't, because this is where we both got it from.
The Black Flag soundtrack.
Here's the Black Flag soundtrack version.
Oh, my name was Captain Kidd, as I sailed, as I sailed. Oh, my name was Captain Kidd,
As I sailed,
Oh, my name is
my
Captain
name was
Kidd.
Captain Kidd, and God's laws I did forbid, as so wickedly I did, as I sailed,
as I sailed,
so wickedly I did, as I sailed.
Also completely different.
Because, you know, fuck us, I guess.
Right. So, he does not sing every part. at the same time, Tori.
I mean, to be fair, it's a space show. A lot of wild space things have happened. If someone opened their voice and had 4-part harmony, I'd go, yeah, The Expanse.
Yeah. Oh, and someone invested in a voice modulator for entertainment purposes, I guess.
Why
Sure,
not?
We have those things for guitars. We might as well have them for voices at this point.
Humans can already sing 2 parts if they practice enough. Why not 4?
Why not Cyberpunk 4? Man, that's a really cool idea.
Cyberpunk 2077, you better have 4 voice single harmonies in.
Honestly, I would play a Cyberpunk game where I could like mod my own voice to do 4-part harmonies and make a living as like, you know, like a busker. I would do that. That's a game I would play. Just
you know
saying.
how much money opera companies could save if they could just hire me and I could sing 4 parts?
Oh, lordy. Okay, so okay, so what we've done, and what I've done at this point, is I've taken a look at the original lyrics to Ballad Calculate. This is, as far as I can tell, the most complete lyrical version that exists. It has all the, like, canonical verses, but it's a folk song. You can add as many verses as you want. Who gives a fuck? And I stuck them in the Google Doc. Now here's where shit gets funky.
Funky.
And by funky, I mean hard for me. So, in The Expanse, there are 3 like main factions that exist in the world. There is Earth, there is Mars, and then there's the Belt, as in the asteroid belt. And Earth and Mars mostly, you know, have been in a cold war with each other for ages. And then just exploit the ever-living Fahuzit out of the belt, because that's where a lot of water is. So Mars needs the belt for water, Earth needs the belt to make sure Mars doesn't get all the water, you know.
Because, you know, Earth really just,
Earth
really fucked their water up pretty hard.
Yup. So, now, in the way... Alright, now for a deep dive of lore I didn't know I had to do until I signed on this show.
Oh, you knew you would have to
I didn't! I had no idea! I knew nothing about this lore, Josh, and then suddenly I was 6 pages deep in a wiki.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I'm gonna play an Expanse game, and my name's John, and I would never fall deep into a lore
I didn't know.
hole.
It's not that. I just didn't know how much there was. Because I knew nothing about this show at all. And then I was
fair.
like,
They were-
oh,
there's
this is a
books, there's
sci-fi
show,
book.
there's a
Oh,
lot.
no. So, way back in the first voyages out into space, when people first went to the belt, they had shit suits, and the comms they had in those systems were garbaggio. So what Beltas did is they sort of, by necessity, created a Creole-style language, which is sort of a mix of multiple languages, and that is internally consistent with its own like grammatical structure and stuff. And I am not a linguist, don't at me. But they created their own Creole language that depends a lot on shortened contractions of words and really strong like hand gestures, because their comms were shitty, and so you needed to like slam your helmet into someone's face, talk through vibration, and make hand noises at each other in order to communicate anything. Because as those of you who know things about space, sound doesn't travel in a vacuum.
You don't.
So they had a linguist invent a whole language. Belter Creole, otherwise known as Lang Belta. And it's internally consistent, which means I can't just make shit up. It's an actual language. You could speak it if you actually had enough time to learn it. Do I know a little bit about it? Yes, shut up. But what I have to do now is look at the verses that were made in the show, put them onto this template here, and then invent Lang Belta lyrics for every other fucking verse. Also, in the show, it's not as internally consistent because the lyrics are slightly different every time they speak them, because they change a lot of the words. And so what I'm actually going to have to do is take a look at the show's verses, move them in, make them make sense within the broader narrative structure of how this piece is supposed to go, so Josh can arrange it based on the Carl Peterson version, because that's the one that we're using. Even though he's giving me an ugly face for it, because it's the slow, boring, dirgy one.
No, it's fine. It'll be lots of fun. My brain is still thinking about how many parts it is and who's singing what.
Fair. So, That's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna do that for like another hour, like another probably like 30 minutes, but to an hour. And at some point I'm gonna be, hey Josh, this is yours for a minute while I blow my own brain out trying to understand a language made up by someone who knows way more about language than I do. So
Yup.
okay, so the first thing we know is since I steered from sound to sound as I steered in the expand soundtrack version is where the song starts. And in the verses that we have from the show, that is also one of the verses that is covered. So, this part right here, this entire section, we're just gonna... goodbye! Have you tried hitting up the Belta linguist? I am going to do that. I'm going to struggle bus it today because I think it'll be fun to do because I'm a bit of a masochist when it comes to lore. What? And I'm gonna try and give it a shot. And what I'm gonna do is once I've done that, because the writers, like the Expanse's writers room and the linguist is actually relatively hyper responsive to questions about Belta. There's an entire subreddit about Belta. Trust me, I'm gonna go looking. But today, I'm gonna try and do it off of my knowledge of Belta and the stuff that I learned to play a character who doesn't speak the language, so I can at least pretend to understand it sometimes during the game, and suffer for your entertainment.
So upping.
All right, so this is the lyrics from the show. Nope, that's an M. So, Omi bang for sound to sound, or from sound to sound, as I steered, as I steered. This makes sense. They don't use sailed in the... No, actually, doesn't use sail. Nope, he uses sail later on. Fuck me.
Which is wild.
Which is wild because you replaced one. Anyway, so yeah, so they sing sail later in the lyrics that are done. So originally when I looked at it, I'm like, as I steered. Oh, okay, that makes sense. And the kind of context for Omi bang for sound as I steered is the pirate space belters have no concept of what a pirate ship is because they've been using spaceships forever. You don't do it the same way as you do with a pirate ship. They're completely different things. The bang for sound. Now, what they know is that there used to be giant steering wheels. That's the thing that everyone remembers about pirate ships for the most part in the Beltas. And so what the bang is a colloquialism for steering, because the idea is you would take the thing and slam it as you were turning it, because that's how hard you would be turning to steer and maneuver. Whether I don't know if that's a canon thing. I saw that interpretation and went, that's super fucking neat. We're just gonna use that. And then 3 seconds later they use sail, and I go, motherfucker, all right, fine. So me bang is I steer from sound to sound, etc. For sound. Now, this is weird. So in the show, the opening line is Omi bang for sound to sound, as I steered, as I steered. Omi bang for sound for sound? Tilly go. Tilly is a sort of, how do I explain grammar? All right, so we're going hella deep into nerd grammar now. Tilly is a a present continuative kind of thing, which is sort of as it will have something you habitually do, something you will do over and over. So Tilly go is as I go, or as I'm going. As it's something that you will be continuously doing. Now this changes because in the original freaking lyrics, it's I sailed from sound to sound as I sailed, oh I sailed from sound for sound as I sailed. If we translate the Belta back into English, as it's constructed right now, we get oh I steered from sound to sound as I steered, oh I steered from sound for sound as I go. Which is a weird construction for how that functions for the most part, because it doesn't match the verbiage in each lyrical line. Now that's not necessarily a problem. We can do Omi bang for sound as I steered, Omi bang for sound Tilly go, and have Tilly go be like the second repeat, you can have the entire first line be its own isolated piece in terms of steering and sailing or whatever. But that becomes also funky later when we talk about the next verse, which we'll get to in a second. Which is this verse here. As I was sick and nigh to death as I sailed, as I sailed. I was sick and nigh to death as I sailed. I was sick and nigh to death, and I vowed with every breath to walk in wisdom's ways as I sailed. Now, the Lang Belta version of that in the show is me was sick and nigh to death till he go, fine. Me was sick and nigh to death till he go, fine. Me was sick and nigh to death, and vowed with me every breath to go with wisdom's ways as we sailed. Expanse consistency would be nice.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot. Also, are we gonna important question, just as I'm doing the initial setup for the piece. Is the title gonna be in Belter Creole?
It's just Captain Kidd.
Nope.
Huh?
I have a Belter translator pulled up.
Oh boy, you did well. Okay, where? Also, link me that, you nut bucket.
Nut bucket. That's fun.
I don't know. I had to come up with something that was like friendly.
I will also drop this link in the chat so people can see. That is a Belter translator that exists.
God.
Because the Ballad of Captain Kidd in Belter Creole is the Ballad for Bossman Kapawoo Kid.
Nope. That's dumb.
Because Captain alone is Bossman Kapawoo.
That's annoying. That breaks a lot of problems. I think we can just use oh no.
Bossman
this is the reason why. So Bosmang is specifically a dockside boss. It's like a boss on a dock.
Like a loading dock is the Bossman.
Yeah, Bosman Kapawoo is the actual word for a ship captain.
Ship captain.
God, that's annoying!
Not to make your job more difficult. But, to be fair, they just say Captain Kidd in the show, right?
No, because they never sing about Captain Kidd at all.
That's right.
So here's the other thing that we have to friggin' frack. So, here's the second problem. They don't mention Captain Kidd in the show, and there's a specific change to one of the verses. That means I have to rewrite all the lyrics. Because, if you look up here in this verse here, hold on. Yeah. So, oh, my parents taught me well as I sailed, as I sailed. Oh, my parents taught me well as I sailed. Oh, my parents taught me well to shun the gates of hell, but against them I rebelled as I sailed. The version in the show changed that. Oh, your parents will teach you well, for you sail, to shun the gates of hell when you sail. As most wickedly I did, inner laws we forbid, against them we rebel when we sail.
Oh, boy.
So that's a little packed. What inners refer to the inner system planets, so Mars and Earth, that are within the asteroid belt in the solar system. And Mars and, as I mentioned before, Mars and Earth have been sort of instrumental in the oppression of the Belters. So the entire goddamn song changes entirely in meaning from the story about a regular pirate to doing horrible things in the name of the devil / not God, to this is a story specifically about Belter pirates, or Beltalowda pirates, who are rebelling against the laws of the inner planets, which means I need to basically rewrite half the lyrics. So the Ballad of Captain Kidd is not actually the Ballad of Captain Kidd.
What if we just called it the Ballad of the Belter?
Mm-hmm.
Since Captain Kidd's not mentioned at all, we can take Captain Kidd Captain out of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because that would just be exhausting.
That is likely what we are probably going to do.
Because the Ballad... Here, hold on. If you give me creative control here, the Ballad of the Belter would be... The Ballad for the Belta. And that is Belter Creole, the ballad of the Belter.
Yep. And now here's the super complex part too. Lang Belta has dialects.
We'll go with whatever the common, like, most spoken one is and call it that, because
Right.
I will watch your brain spiral.
So here's so the Ballad of Belta has Creole is a Creole language, but it has dialects, and what you see in the show primarily is the Sarah's dialect, because you mostly spend a lot of your time on series in the opening acts of the show, and that's kind of the one a lot of people come from in the fiction, so you get a lot of that kind of Creole. Not to mention all the fucking Beltas, and as a diaspora minority, I feel this, code switch fucking constantly.
Yep.
So, like, half the time it's English, and half the time it's Belter Creole. And
It's all code switching all the time. And we rarely ever get a scene where it's only in Belter Creole.
Yeah, I think we've had it once.
Mm-hmm.
Literally at the beginning. The only time we've ever had a full conversation in Lang Belta is when Gia and Miller are talking in the first episode.
Right. Yep, that's
and
it.
That's the only time we've ever had a conversation.
Like 30s. It does not last long.
It's 30 seconds of Lang Belta in all Lang Belta, and they don't tell you what any of it is, and they won't tell you what it means, and the Amazon Prime subtitles can suck my entire dick, because they're
the
bad.
worst.
Oh, so.
Sorry that I sent you down this hole.
It's good. No, it's fine. I knew this was going to happen. So, that's why I'm wearing my staring at the computer angrily glasses. So, when we change all of these, I'm going to have to change a lot of the lyrics. So, this one right here is mostly fine. I don't know if I want to replace this with Tilly Go at the end instead of As We Sailed. They don't do that in the show, but I honestly think it's fine. I want to keep it consistent, something people would sing, in a memorable way, so you remember as you go. So what I might actually do is keep the construction of Tilly Go here, and then Tilly Go here, and then this nonsense in the first line can change every 3 seconds. I don't give a damn. Because then we can keep As I steered, Tilly Go, and then we can get Tilly Go, and then Tilly Go. As I sailed, Tilly Go. Parents will taught you well, for you sail, Tilly Go.
You're doing great. I believe in you.
Thank you. So, let's put the Oh, your parents teach you well one here. Now, also the bad part about this fucking shanty is this particular section is sung to somebody in the show. I'm not going to spoil what.
Yep.
So he could have just changed the lyrics on us just for this part where he's singing it to a person. So, I'm gonna ignore this. Oh, me parents.
Yeah, you don't need to. You can
We don't
literally
need to
just
do that.
continue it.
So now here's the question in the Beltane. One is, oh, my parents taught me well.
Oh, me parents taught me well.
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
It just takes an L off the L. That's fine.
And turns me, M-E to M-I. That's it.
Me and me basically are,
Yeah.
my and me are basically the same here.
Yeah.
So my parents taught me well.
Now let's see how wild this goes. Fo shun de gates for hell.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to write this all in Belter Creole, and then I'm going to send this to the language and be like, please help clean. I don't know enough about this language, but I'm going to sing it. Only parents taught me well for... Now, what is before?
B4? Like B-E-F-O-R?
For me sail. That's exactly what I thought.
Just 4.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. Excellent. So that works out. So, Omi parents taught me well. For me sail. For me sail. Boom. That works out. This is
Great.
acceptable.
Love this.
So what's annoying is that they do say I. Okay,
Where?
so I'm going to assume that the I, as I steered. I'm going to say that for right now that's for I sail. We're going to leave it like that. Now, the construction of this nonsense here is different. If you'll notice, because... Where is it? Crap. Okay, hold on. Copy. Undo!
Oh!
Okay. Okay. Right. So here's the thing. So my name is William Kidd. As I say. My name is William Kidd. My name is William Kidd. God's laws I did forbid. Inner laws we forbid here. And as most wickedly I did here. The version in the show turns it into its own separate verse, where it does, "Oh, my parents teach you well." So the original version goes, "Oh, my parents taught me well, for I sailed, for I sailed. Oh, me parents taught me well, for I sailed. Oh, me parents taught me well to shun the gates of hell. But against them I rebelled, for I sailed," right? So it changes the verse construction a little bit to go, it doesn't do the repeat. And I don't like that, so I'm going to change it.
Yep.
So, "Oh, me parents taught me well, for I sail. And then we'll do this one more time. I love you, Belter lyrics, but die. "Oh, me parents taught me well, for I sail." Take out the second one to match the construction. "Oh, me parents taught me well." Yep. Okay. "My parents taught me well." I think it's to shun the gates of hell. Yeah,
for shunned.
the gates for hell, yeah. Okay, cool, that was right.
For shunned the gates for hell.
The gates for hell. No! We're not doing that construction. That's awful.
For the in your lorda, me lorda rebel.
God. Now, actually, we can't do this one either as this line either. Because... Or we can. So it depends on the story. Now I'm going to throw all of the grammar nerd out the window, and we're going to go back to story. So,
Yep.
the question is, what kind of story of a belter are we singing? And the answer is, it depends. The version of the Ballad of William Kidd is about a pirate who shunned everything that was taught to him and became an immoral, murdering jackass. So piracy. The version for this doesn't make that much sense, because if it's the Ballad of the Belter, then a Belter's parents probably aren't going to be like, "Just get along, it'll be fine." They're probably also angry.
To embrace the gates of hell?
To
love the gates of hell? We're probably not shunning the gates.
Exactly. So we're probably not shunning the gates of hell here. That being said...
What about to fight the gates of hell? You know, you can't take me, I'm not ready to go. And fight in Beltalota is just fight. For fight the gates for hell is just Beltalota for to fight the gates of hell.
I actually like what Calibur did. It did the inner worlds were hell. Now that's slightly different, because the Belters want to be on Earth.
They
Mars,
want Earth.
because they've had to grow up in space. And one of the things that's really super cool for this construction is that the Belters, because they've grown up in space, they've lived in space, have problems. Usually it's, bone density or spinal issues. So Belters are generally taller and lankier than everyone else because they grow up in 0G. Which means that when they go down to Earth or Mars, they actually can't be on the planets. Because the gravity on the planets is so high, it hurts them.
It literally crushes them.
It literally crushes their bones because their bodies aren't meant to sustain a 1G atmosphere because they've lived in 0G all day. So what that means is that they can actually never go back to Earth in their current state. So the inner worlds are hell, but they want to be there. So what I'm actually going to do is...
That's what I was thinking. If you did to fight the gates of hell, the inner Zyrabel.
Gave us hell.
The problem with things like us
Is that
is that
technically it's Miloda, but
is Miloda, which is why sometimes I think if we made the whole thing first person, because the idea is that it's a bunch of Belters singing it, so if they all say I, it's still the collective Belters.
Yup.
And then you can just use me instead of I, or instead of like Miloda for any us.
Yeah. Miloda gave me hell. That functions.
And boy, you cannot think too hard about English, American English grammar in Belter Creole. And that's why I'm here, John.
Yup. I'm gonna look at what that is in Belter real quick and then
So against them, we rebel is going to be a bad
Yep.
time.
Nope. That shit.
Again, we. You got to use I.
Yeah. So yeah, this is gonna have to be entirely in first. Nope. Okay. I'm just gonna. Yeah, we're just gonna use I. Because I said so. Because if Ashford can do it on the thousands of dollar TV show, I can do it for $0.
You could do inners gave me, so in the English maybe inners gave me hell, so I fight and I rebel. So me fight unter me rebel is Beltaloda, so I fight and I rebel.
That could work. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I can take out the me in the middle, so we fight and rebel. So I fight and rebel. Boom.
So me fight unter rebel, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the kind of crap we're gonna have to do for the next hour and a half.
Well, like a half hour, and then I'll start writing it while you panic.
This is solid. This is a solid verse.
If you give me like 3 verses or so, we can get somewhere.
So I'm going to do a thing. Do I invent an entire
person
fictional Belter?
I mean, you can.
I'm thinking about it. I really am.
Or like,
because that
just
puts it
a
in
really
it
famous
in line.
Belter.
Yeah, that puts it in line with like Sam Hall too. Actually, hold on, let me look at the lyrics for the lyrics. So, as we mentioned before, the Ballad of Captain Kidd and Sam Hall, which is an Irish folk song, I want to say, is about it's about an unrepentant, a bitterly unrepentant thief, a criminal condemned to death. So, and we name it as Sam Hall something, right? So we could do that. I could just invent an entirely new Belter. Crap. Sam Hall folk. How does this one go? Sam Hall folk lyrics. Oh yeah, Johnny Cash covered it too for no reason.
Because of course. Why not?
Okay, here's the original one is "Oh, my name is Sam Hall, chimney sweep, chimney sweep. Oh, my name is Sam Hall, chimney sweep. Oh, my name is Sam Hall. When I've robbed both great and small, and my neck will pay for all when I die." Okay. Fair.
There's an Expanse tabletop game?
Yeah, that's the one I'm playing.
Right, I knew that. Wow, my brain shut down hard. I'm here. Hello, everyone. Hi. We've been so deep in.
Oh Lord. Yeah, that's the one I'm playing in on.
Wow, my whole brain shut down. God.
That's a mood. I feel that. Okay, so. I'll get back to that one later. Because I know I'm gonna change this to inner laws. I did forbid. Because if you can sing it on the show that way, I don't need to take it all into Belta. So the part about this is we're gonna do a lot of code switching. We're gonna do a lot of code switching from Belta to English to and back because rhythm overall.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's all fun and games till I have to put it on sheet music.
No, it's not fun in games. It's awful, and then I want to make it less awful for you.
It's all pain and anger until it becomes
It's
more
all pain and anger,
more anger.
It's all pain and anger, but we try to make sure that other people don't need to feel the pain and anger we're going through.
Exactly.
Great. Okay, only parents taught me well, for I sail, for I sail. Only parents taught me well, for I sail. Only parents taught me well, and Yolota gave me hell, so me fight until for I sail. Fine!
While John continues to think of what in the world these lyrics are going to be, I'm going to pop back into the chat on our Twitch to talk about our Tiltify campaign that we have going on.
Bless you.
I got you. This is the last week that we're running this Tiltify campaign. We just wanted to run it through the month of June. And it is a campaign that is raising money for the Bail Project. The Bail Project is an organization that helps to fight the pretty corrupt and fucked up bail system in American jails. They raise money to bail people out that have been arrested for various causes and various reasons and can't get out because, well, they don't have the money to. So this campaign, we're trying to raise $250. We're sitting at $130, which has surpassed our first goal, which was just $50. If you have the opportunity to donate and can donate $10 or more, it's going to put your name in a raffle as long as you let us know, a way to contact you, either your Twitter or email or whatever. And we'll put your name in a raffle. And whoever wins the raffle is going to get an original sea, land, air, space, etc. shanty written for them, a character they're playing in a game, a character that they really like and just want to have their own shanty. You name it, we're going to make it probably live here on Thicc Notes, Shanty Shoppe. Whoop! So we are at our first goal already, which was 50. So thank you so much to everyone who donated. If we manage to make it to 250, we are going to do a second raffle for the same thing. Throw your names in, get your own original shanty. Again, all of that money goes to the Bail Project. We also have a bunch of petitions, and these petitions are specifically for George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor, and they are petitions that go out to the governments from the states that these people were unfortunately lost their lives to police brutality. And we are just petitioning the local governments to not just fire the police officers that killed them, but arrest them and have them serve time for these murders. It's, with everything happening in the world right now, these are causes that are near and dear to both of our hearts. And, we understand if you're not in a financial place to donate right now. But just sharing word is massive, and we appreciate and love any support you can give. So yeah, that's was that enough time to get some more juices going there on the in the brain space?
It's got a what?
No, my thoughts exactly.
Okay, so what I'm going to talk about is where this fails me. So. This second to last verse here.
Oh, John, second to last verse. Work on the first verse. I can't start writing the second to last verse.
Fuck you. All right, so to execution dock, I must go. I must go. To execution dock, I must go. To execution dock, while many thousands flock, but I must bear the shock and must die. That's stupid. That's a horrible line. And must die. This is a horrible line, even in the English.
It's bad. It doesn't make
Honestly,
sense.
I must bear the shock and die.
Die.
That's it. Okay, so are you ready for what the show does?
But I must bear the shock and die. I must die.
Yeah. Now, this is what the show does. It repeats 2 lines from another verse.
That's just rude.
That's just rude. All right? And it repeats them wrong. This is me. But Val. Okay, so. Alright. To the execution dock, I have come, Tilly go. To the execution dock, for to sail. What are you doing, Expanse Writer Room? That's not how this.
They don't really spend a lot of time worrying about singing in the Expanse.
Well, they fucking should. Okay.
Well, that's why we're here, John.
That's why we're here, to fix what people getting paid money to do this for.
Hi,
didn't do.
we're the Expanse unpaid interns team.
Shit, that's really good. Oh, hashtag unpaid interns for Amazon Prime. So
Hey, look, we were
I mean,
unpaid interns
we're
for
on
the longest,
Twitch.
John.
We're on Twitch.
on
We
Twitch.
might as well be unpaid interns for Amazon. Oh lordy. Okay, so this is. You know, I wanted to show you this so I can get it out of my brain. Now I can go back to the first one. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna replace. Do I want to? Here's the question. First question is: do I want to replace sailed with steer everywhere?
Yes.
I think so. I think it makes sense, right? Nope. Sail. Also, the refined and replace all tool is your friend. Doink.
Now, as is a rough one in Belta Lotus. Are we code switching here?
Yes.
Great,
Because-
because as in Belta Lotus...
Because they sing as in the show, and if like yeah,
Right.
as is because the be verbs is not. Wait,
What?
Tilly steer. It's Tilly go, but with sailing.
I forgot what Tilly was.
Tilly is the
already, it's
habitual like forever verb. So Tilly go is basically as I am going, as I
Right.
as I will go habitually. So I can just do
fine. Tilly steered?
as I replace all Tilly. Bam! Fuck off. All right. Wow, look at that. That's so much cleaner. Okay. Also, Peter in there with the sail. Blame it on the ADD. That's me. That's my entire life singing sea shanties.
Sail!
Also followed immediately by blame it on the ADD. So. Alright, my name is William Kidd, Tilly steered, as I steered. My name is William Kidd, inner laws I did forbid. Now here's the problem. Whatever
Inner
the fuck
laws me did...
me did forbid. Well, I did. They use I and me occasionally, so like, I don't know how I want to change that just yet, so I'm gonna leave it that way for now. The problem with forbid, did, and kid is they all rhyme.
And did already doesn't rhyme.
Huh? No, did rhymes.
I mean, in Beltalota.
Right. So I need to make one with the Beltalota whose last name is something that ends with id. So that's a later problem. But what I can do is me name,
Nam me.
me name, me name, Mimi name. That's not.
Oh,
right.
me name is insert name here. Tilly steered, oh, me name is insert name here. Tilly steered.
I like the transition to like the Alexa / GPS voice every time you did that.
I'm sorry, I don't know that name.
And then a little bit of John Mulaney. The I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Oh.
Blame it on the ADD, folks. So, oh lordy, okay. Man's going to kill till he steer, till he steer. That's fucking fine, whatever.
Wow, yeah, it's wild how the language changes by adding one word.
Right?
Because, like, oh, my name is oh me name, but oh, my name is oh nem me.
Yep. Okay. These two are functional. So if you want to tackle those while I scream into a corner.
Oh, you want me to just? I'm just gonna put Captain Kidd in as a placeholder. I think.
Sure. That's fine.
Before we switch it over to me while you panic on things.
Yup, I'm just gonna cry a lot.
Let me start. But let's talk real quick before you go into the crying corner, which I fully respect and understand.
Thank you.
Can't stress that enough. I'm thinking 4-part, not 5.
Yep.
I'm thinking SATB.
Okay.
So soprano, alto, tenor, bass.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking giving the melody line to the alto? Alto or the tenor? I mean, I don't really care either way.
One of the two, sure.
What do you think?
Can we do 4-part with lead? That face tells me a lot.
Well, that's 5-part. That's 5-part.
I mean, yeah, but...
And the reason which would be fine if it weren't... There really isn't a lead in this one, if we're doing this specific version. Like, if we're doing the Carl Peterson version, everyone's singing at the same time. There's never a lead. There's just a person who happens to have the melody. Whereas, like, when I think lead, I normally think, oh, this person's going to sing verse, and everyone else is going to come in at different points.
That's true.
So I truly think this one is just straight up 4-part harmony. And okay. I am getting some
I got a vote for the alto and the Tories, so fuck it. Altos it is.
And what people didn't know is we closed voting as soon as the first person said something, so alto it is.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So 4-part.
Hold on, let me just check something. Oh, Google, please tell me what this is like. I love the way you're singing. I love the way you're singing a different version than the Carl Peterson one to count the metronome.
I know.
It makes me giggle.
Because his only name is cousin. I'm trying to figure out what time signature. Like, it's in some sort of common, but
I think it's just in 4.
Is it?
Yeah. Only 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3.
Google, find me a metronome.
I think it's not quite 69. It's a little slower, I think.
Well, let's put it at 69 and find out. As I sail, my name.
We can do it in 69 and make it a little bit faster.
As I sail. I think a little bit faster would be better.
I agree, because at the times specifically at the times when it was being sung, they really weren't concerned about tempo. You and I both know what that meant. So,
okay, so it's a quarter note start. It's a little pickup.
Oh, me lord.
Metronome mark, quarter note equals 69. Ba 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 ba.
Nailed it.
Eventually, we'll have a whole thing. I'll get some sound cues ready that'll play anytime we like get a 69 joke in. It's in F major,
Oh lordy.
which is 1 flat. We're calling it, what was it, the Ballad for the Belta?
Yeah. Ballad of the Belt. Ballad for the Belt. Ballad to
Da
the
Ballad
Belt.
for the Belta.
That's one of them. Question mark.
Ugh, you're killing me. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be that
What?
until we can think of something
Bro,
else.
like, I am killing you because this song is killing me and I am dying. Please help.
Hey, John, what sea shanty should we do this week? Well, that's a great idea, Josh. I was thinking of doing something original. No, that'd be too hard this week, just because it's been a long one. Okay, well, why don't we just do the Expanse shanty? That'll be easier.
I didn't think about it when I said it. Okay, fuck you. It's easier for you, all right? It's definitely not easier for me.
Hey, I'm here with you on this journey.
That's true. Well, yeah, it's there's witness. I feel like witnessing my pain will be more entertaining than having to pain. So
I mean, you know,
fair. Peter, shut the fuck up.
Are they wrong, though?
Notice how I didn't rebuke what they said. I just said shut the fuck up.
I like Peter. They can stay.
Okay.
Okay, so then basically what I'm going to do is I will screen share a completely blank ass page, and then we'll just get started. Go get food.
Yeah, go eat. Take care of yourself. Do the thing.
Yay, care. Okay, so what was I doing?
Sharing that screen on Discord so I can get away from this awful lyrics page
Yes.
and go stare at it for
I mean,
2
I'm going for share to page. I think that was right. I have no clue. Share.
No idea.
You should be able to bring us over into an empty page now.
Yeah, me, I'm going for share the page. It's close enough. Alrighty. Swoop! Alright, I'm gonna go do what Josh does. I'm gonna take a page out of Josh's book. I'm gonna mute myself and cry. I'll be back.
That's my MO. Okay, so, hello. Welcome to this blank-ass page. It's just a bunch of empty... Oh, God. It fills me with so much anxiety. I can see you laughing at me. That's not crying. So, what we've done so far
It's
is...
laugh crying, alright?
Yeah,
Don't touch me.
So again, we're using Sibelius, which is what I use for pretty much all of my music writing. This is the like subscription version. It's not the really, really like high-end subscription version, but it comes with a little more bells and whistles. Sibelius and Finale and a lot of other like music writing softwares have free versions of them that you can write music on and that you don't need to pay a single cent for. This one, since I'm doing it more regularly and I've been like writing music on and off in some capacity my whole life, I just own Sibelius. So we've taken the piece. It usually gives you a little starter box when you're writing music that tells you like, oh, what do you want in it? And so I add, I want soprano, alto, tenor, bass. Great. I want it to be in 4/4 time, which we talked a lot about time signatures last week, because Ashes or Undersea River or Unbroken Ocean, whichever version we're using, is in a buck wild amalgamation of 6/8 time and 3/8 time. This one is not. It's back in our good old 4/4 time. We're back, John. Celebrate. Whoop, whoop. Which basically means that there are 4 beats in every measure.
4/469. We're back to form.
4/469. It's us. That'll be another T-shirt. We're just gonna Tori, we're just gonna commission you to make a bunch of buttons. I'm serious. We're gonna do it. So we've got our 4 parts. We're in 4/4, which means our bottom note here basically says that the quarter note is going to get our beat, right? It's and that there are 4 beats in a measure. So these are our beats. That's our quarter note, And 4 time is telling us that there are 4 of these in every measure. And a measure is what's between these 2 solid lines. And that's kind of where we're at right now. That's it. Everything is blank because we haven't done anything else. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take myself off of the Twitch page, even though I love seeing all these good comments, so I can actually see the lyrics. Ooh, wait. ¿Por qué no los dos? Haha! I've done it. Okay, so we've started with a pickup. A pickup basically means we've taken an entire measure and chopped part of it off. Are you going to be okay, John? No one else can see it because we've switched to me, but John's written "Please help" in big letters at the top of the lyric sheet. I mean,
Okay.
no, but we're at a better version of okay. You got this. We believe in you. Everyone's raising their hands in support. We're going to spirit bomb the music writing process. This is my second spirit bomb reference in 2 episodes. I don't even play that much DBZ or watch that much DBZ anymore. I'm not okay. I think I'm stalling on my own end. So, let's do this thing. Altos get the melody. You're welcome, Tori and Leth and all my alto friends out there. Let me make sure we're in the right key. And is that a nope? Nope. So we're going to take you an octave up. Okay. And then we're going to quickly listen to this Carl Peterson version again in my head real quick. And I've already messed up, so we're starting with an 8th rest. Right about yonder. And then in 16th notes, we're hitting it with, "Oh, me name is Captain Kidd." And I love... That was my real plan, was to just write as much music in keys that the people whose games I'm in can sing, so that they're like, ah, shit, now I gotta sing this. So a lot of this, like, music writing out is, normally we would come at it with me having, like, written it out once to get it in my head to just show you, but we're going to do this process from scratch. So we have, "Oh, me name is William Kidd, Tilly Steed, Tilly Steed." So we have, "Oh, me name is William Kidd." So I know now in that first measure, my downbeats, where like my big beats are "Oh, me name, Will, Kid, Till," which is good. "Oh, me name is William." So that's a dotted 8th to a 16th. So we're going, "Oh, me name is William." Oh, I see what you've done there. "Oh, name is William Kidd," and that's an 8th. If you have questions about this as I'm going through, because I might just zone out and start writing things, please do type them. I can still see the chat. It's going to be an 8th with an 8th rest.
Josh, you were singing up a note, and now you've made the note go down. What is happening?
What?
So, for those of you who don't know at all what the fuck I just said, because I don't really know either. Actually, which one are you writing for the alto line?
"Oh, me name is William Kidd, Tilly Steed, Tilly Steed. Oh, me name is William Kidd." What?
I don't think that's not the melody line.
As I said, it's "Oh, me name is Captain Kidd." Hold on.
That's the highest part.
Hold 1 second. You're right. As I sailed Oh, me name is Whipton Kid. Oh, me name is Captain Kid. Or is it Captain Kid? Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
There's so many different versions
Yup, I know.
that now I have all of them. So that's fine. Oh, my name is Captain Kid.
As I sail.
As I sailed. Oh, me name is Captain Kid. As I sailed. Oh, me name is Kid. Okay, so I hate and love John for calling me out on this bullshit. So we have, oh, me name is William Kidd. Tilly steered. So we have Tilly. And then we do another thing because I hate everything. Steered. We're going to take a break there. And that's going to be a quarter note. And we're going to take an eighth rest. Oh, me. Name. So we have, oh, me name is William Kidd. Tilly steered. Yeah? I just need a head shake from John. There it is. Kid, that's an 8 note. And then we're going to take an eighth rest. Okay, I'm going to listen to it real quick in my head. Sorry for the silence while I contemplate shit. My name is Captain Kidd. That's not how they do it in the Carl Peterson version, John. Oh, me name.
Oh, me name is Captain Kidd. As I sailed. Oh, me name is Captain Kidd. As I sailed.
Okay, so they go down to the C the first time, and then the D the second time. Oh, me name is Captain Kidd. As I sailed. Oh, me name is William Kidd. As I sailed.
Oh, me name is Captain.
Chord-wise, it would get funky if we put a D there.
As I sailed.
You'll just have to trust me on that one.
Oh, me name is Captain Kidd. Oh, me name is Captain Kidd.
So we have
As I sailed.
sailed. 2, 3, 4. Sailed. 3, 4. Oh, me name is William Kidd. And laws I did for. Inner laws I did forbid. And most wickedly I did till he steered. Okay. So we have, oh, me name is William Kidd. Inner laws I did forbid. Kid. Inner laws I did forbid. Okay. So anything else. This process is exhausting, and I usually don't do it with everyone watching me the first time, and I'm filled with anxiety. Love you.
You're doing great.
Honestly, that's all I needed.
You're doing fine, kid. Keep going.
Oh, thanks, Albert.
I forgot that was the other voice. It's been a while.
Yep. I know. We'll be back to it soon. So we have name is Kid. Name is Captain Kidd. Inner laws I did forbid. Something like that. Okay, Captain Kidd. Inner laws I did forbid. Captain Kidd. Thanks, Tori. And so we have another rest there. Inner. Nope. Laws I did forbid. And most wickedly I did. Is that right? And most wickedly I did. So we have another rest there. We go back to our 16th notes. Most wickedly. Nope. I did. So we have. Wickedly I did as I sailed. So that's going to be another 8th rest. And how do we want to finish this? And most wickedly I did as I sailed. Okay, and then we're just going to do a little. And a half note. Okay. Cool. So this here written out, just on these 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 measures is our melody that we're going to use over and over again for the entire song. I don't know if we're ever going to change it. I don't know if it gets funky later on. I'd have to re-listen to the entire Carl Peterson. Does it get funky later on, or is it pretty much this the whole time through?
Pretty much the same shit. If you want to get funky with it, I'm not going to stop you.
Well, we'll make one non-funky version, and then perhaps go to a funky version. But what I will do now is show you, keyboard back, what it sounds like if we were to take this and basically just play it from the beginning. And you'll hear the... Oh, you know what I can do to make it even better? This is my brain going in full motion. Nope, we don't want that. Nope, we don't want that. Oh my god, stop it, computer. It keeps thinking I want to add a note, which I don't want to do. I just want to add lyrics. Thank you. Nope, that's not where the lyrics should be either. Okay, so we're going to do this again. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Technology is a beautiful, horrible thing. And it sometimes just doesn't want to do what you want it to. We'll put this in parentheses. And I will space this out in a second. Tilly steered. Tilly steered. It's going to look real weird for a second. Oh, me name is William. Kid. Tilly steered. Oh, me name is William Kid. Inner laws I did forbid, and most wickedly. No, want to do. We talked about this before with like text overlay. A lot of times when you're like singers, especially, are very good at just like sticking to exactly what they see on the page, which is an upside and a downside. The downside being if I did this for wickedly, right, and put WIC and then KIED and then LY, you get singers going, and most wickedly I did, which is not the sound you want. So if we take the vowel and leave that on its own and bump the C here, they'll go wickedly, wicked instead of wickedly. And that's just comes from having been a singer and knowing every time I've made that mistake when I sang because the words are laid weirdly. That's right, it's someone else's fault. I was perfect. And no one here can say any otherwise because you didn't know me as a kid. What's up? Tilly steered. Okay, so I'm going to rearrange some of this. You bastard. I told you I could see the chat! You're mean.
Who needs Nightbot to bully us when I'm gonna bully Josh?
I was just thinking I needed another bully in my life.
Well,
Thank
as long
you.
as it's consensual, I'm happy to do that for you.
It is.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so let's just play this out from the beginning of just the verse we have here. Okay. That sounded right. John. I can never tell if John's frozen thinking, if John's frozen.
No, we just froze because I minimized Zoom, so both of us were just frozen for a hot second.
That would do it.
Can you do that again? I thought I heard a weird thing.
Sure. Thoughts?
Okay, so it's a rhythm choice. It's honestly super irrelevant. Do we want to go with the 16th on Wickedly? Or...
We should. I was just going for the exact thing I heard, but it should be
Wickedly. Yeah, I agree.
did.
I agree. Yeah, because
You're
that way you're holding
100%
on
right.
about. Cool. Awesome.
Yep. Done.
Dope.
Changed.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you were 100% right about that. That was just me trying to write it exactly how it sounded the first time.
Totally.
We could. Oh Lord, Lee. There we go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
Going, wait a minute.
No, you're super right. That was just before I got into the
going
text.
down to the C at the beginning sounds weird. I expect it's going to sound less weird when a chord is filled around it, but right now it feels weird.
Kid. Well, my name is Captain Kid. Kid.
Name is Captain Kid.
It just doesn't do that in the call piece.
I know it doesn't, and it sounds weird outside of the the chord structure of it.
It doesn't. Honestly, we're rewriting it, so we can
Okay.
make it work.
Yeah.
I'd rather make it work in a way that we like it than just stick to what was originally written.
Agreed.
And that's a tiny change.
And honestly, it's an old recording. Someone was probably just flat.
You're not wrong.
Um,
Okay. So now I got to figure out the next move. So generally, like when we're writing, at least from my preferences for music writing, is that I like to start with the melody because that's the thing that everyone has stuck in their head always. And once you get that, you can start to build things around it. The next thing I always build is the bass part, because the bass is going to ground. Excuse me. The bass is going to ground the piece. And once you have that, typically when you're thinking of things like chord progressions and how chords work in general, you figure out what your chord is a lot of the time. And this is like theory 1, because as soon as you hit theory 2, everything changes. But you figure most of it out from the bass note. It's usually playing whatever your chords are for you. So we do that to start. And then if we go back and go, this can be funkier, we make it funkier. Especially in this Carl Peterson version, where the bass is just singing the same thing as the melody for a bit, but like an octave lower. Which I hate. So we're going to change it. Because I can, and because Carl Peterson's not here to get mad at me. And because there's 1,000 versions of this that exist already, so that's what I have to say to you.
yeah, I don't give a fuck about keeping Carl Peterson's versions intact. I just wanted the way the melody sounded off of the Peterson version.
That's the tenor. Leave it to me to still be writing the tenor line. There we go. And we're going to take you down an octave. Thanks, little keyboard. My keyboard's like basses can't sing that. That's because this says baritone. Oh, Josh!
Oops.
Josh, what are you doing?
Oh.
Hold on. Remove the baritone. Delete it from the score. Add a bass. Ta-da!
See, I was just going to say you could do the thing that always happens in the bass baritone line, where you can just put the low note and then the higher note and then the optional low note at the bottom.
This is a possible thing.
Mm-hmm.
One thing at a time, though.
Yeah.
Oh, my name. That was my great. I was going to sing it up an octave, because why? I don't have to hurt myself. Famous. Kid. Okay, so far so good. Twisted. Twisted. Yes, bass is lower than baritone. When you set things in general, the traditional setting is that it would be soprano, alto, tenor, baritone, bass. Baritones are kind of in that middle ground where they don't have the low notes, they don't have the high notes, but they have a really gorgeous middle sound. That's right, there was a compliment in there. We like baritones.
Yeah. I'm not biased at all.
Name is.
Alright, close
Oh, Lord.
for it. I'm getting rid of all of your lyrical construction for this last verse because it makes no sense. Goodbye!
Okay, so far so good. We're gonna take a little rest there. So we're gonna go. Name is sorry, bases. Kid. In. Let's go. In. Yes. Let's actually take a listen to it to see if this changes anything. As I ugh, I hate it. Okay. Pretty much immediately ignoring the rest of everything that was in the Carl Peterson version, because it's pretty rough. That would be way too low for them. So we'll go back up to C. Wicked I did steed. Okay, so this is either going to go beautifully or it's going to be a hot mess. And we're about to find out. I'm not going to bother putting the lyrics in yet because you're not my mom. Okay, let's see what happens. Baseline. I hate to say it, John, but we are going to have to slow it down from 69, which makes me really sad.
know. I saw that.
Okay, thoughts?
On the great. Put in the extra note, please, because I can't sing that. I am solidly a baritone. Do that later.
Oh, you mean just like for the?
Yeah.
You can't. You got. Yeah.
I can't hit it. I can hit it with 0 volume, and I have to fry to get to it. Personally, anyone who's actually a bass will hit that easily. Thank you. Love you.
No, we'll have to figure that whole thing out.
Yeah, like
Also,
I said, worry about it later once you fill it in the tenor, and we can deal with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna write just all the bass notes, and then at some point I will figure out the rest.
Yep, I ain't worried about it.
One thing at a time. Now we gotta figure out a tenor line. Sailed as I sailed, for me name is Captain Kidd. As I sailed. So we have that. We have the sea. Captain Kidd. Oh, Lord. 2 notes at a time. That's not right. Would that be weird? Let's listen to it real quick and see. God, 69 is so fast.
That's what they said. Hey, Josh.
Yes,
You know how we were talking about code switching?
I do.
Do me a favor. I'm going to send you a piece of text. You should chuck it in the translator. I'm going to send you on Facebook so it doesn't break any of our, any of the screens we've got.
You're just going to send me something on Facebook Messenger to translate and see what happens?
Yeah, just take a look at it and just look at why I'm ignoring anything that translator told me to do.
Okay, just gonna take this and gonna keep it secret from everyone. This is our special conversation.
I'll explain it afterwards.
Okay, so what John has sent me is we're talking still about the execution dock verse, right?
Yep.
Now to execution dock I must go, I must go. Now to execution dock I must go. Now to execution dock lay my head upon the block, and no more laws I'll mock as I sail. Sure. Then we put it through the translator, and I don't even know how they pronounce the X in Belter Creole.
Neither do I.
So maybe Zitim for execution dock mimoshgo, Zitim for execution dock mimoshgo, Zitim for execution dock le mi gova upon the block, unte na moda laws mil mark asilik mi sail.
And on the list of things that I am blatantly ignoring for the construction of this verse. Now, there's some cool stuff I'm going to definitely take from there.
Yeah,
Like, me apostrophe LL, I'll, me, like, milmok is a cool fucking, construction.
I also like mosh as must. I like
do
that
too.
a lot.
I don't want to sing that, though.
Mimoshgo. That's not that hard.
It's not that hard, but it's like...
Think of it as MO apostrophe SH.
Yeah, that could work.
If we take the W out, people will get less confused.
Mimoshko, yeah, I think that's it.
Mimoshko.
Mimoshko, I think so, too. But yeah,
But Z-Team or He-Team?
that's
or...
not happening. Nope.
I'm pretty sure it's not He-Team.
Yeah.
Wild.
We're just gonna ignore the fuck out
We
of
can
that.
switch that one up.
That's not happening.
Where was I? There was I.
And if I take out the there, it turns into Unte Namo Laws of Milmok, which is a cool fucking line. I'm gonna steal the hell out of that for sure.
Okay, let's listen to that and see if that sounds like a real line.
It's pretty good. Also, your audio is crackling again now.
Son of a taint. Alright, should I unshare and reshare?
Yeah, probably for the best.
Fingers crossed it doesn't fuck it all up. Why don't you go to a blank page so we don't see lots of random space?
Whoop! Done! Alright, yeah. That was pretty. I liked that. At least the opening two I heard there. That was pretty cool.
Okay. It's
I have
reshared.
No idea
Hopefully.
how to pronounce Z-Team. We'll figure it
I think
out.
it's just Z-Team.
Z-Team, G-Team, I'm not sure.
It's either Z-Team or X-Team.
Z-Team, G-Team.
It probably would be X-Team. X-Team makes sense.
Z-Team.
X-Team, like that CS.
Yeah.
X-Team go, X-Team go. Thank God that in high school I had to sing in like 18 different languages.
Seriously, right?
Because like it made life so much easier. Because you know what's not easy if you've only ever sung in English your whole life? Singing in Ngosa for the first time. in Ngosa.
Yeah. Here's a bunch of like noises you have to make with your mouth you didn't know existed until just now.
Thankfully, the Lion King helped us with that. Ipambe di jalo makiti ninga dinwa siyavavona vele funungusinweta. That one's for all you Lion King stands out there, Tori. All right, I'm gonna play this again. Hopefully, it's not crackly.
All right. No longer cracked. We'll be good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's
Well,
pretty
this is
solid.
this is clicking in with these classic choral roots now.
Yeah, it's going right back to like chamber choir. Tori missed your joke.
I sang some Lion King, and then I said, "This is for my Lion King stands," and then I said, "Tori." Nope.
That's not happening. That.
I don't know. It's a musical. You like musicals. Was I wrong? Also fair. Welcome back.
Hello. Hello, this is Josh and I stare aggressively at the world time and crying. Also, hello everyone who has joined us. We're having screamy time with Josh and John.
Oh, this could be garbage, but there's only one way to find out.
I feel like almost any time you've said that, it has not been garbage, so you should just stop saying that, you liar.
But if I keep saying it, it'll make it sound better when it's not garbage.
No, it's gonna be funny if you're just like, this is gonna be beautiful, and you're right all the time, except for the one time you're not, and then it's funny.
You say that, but then I'm going to start saying, I'm like, this is going to be gorgeous, and it's going to come out, and it's going to sound like a cat just walked across the keyboard and it wrote it down. Which is still art.
Yeah. Nope.
Nope.
Gunner? Is that...
I'll avoid the stereotypical choir. Da 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 da. I know.
I mean, what you should do is you should put it in there so people can hear what we're talking about, and then we should get rid of it immediately.
Deal.
Perfect.
God, I love a suspension. You'll hear it at the end, what we were talking about. I hope that this works. No clue about this one. I mean, I love it. It just doesn't work for
No,
this
it doesn't.
particular
Good
shanty.
old, like, organ church choir, we're filling in the time suspension chords while everyone's walking. If you ever go to a church and you see the way you find out that the organist has run the end of the sheet music and people are still
Yep.
walking up to get communion, that is the note you're gonna hear all the
You'll
time.
hear like da 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 da.
You go the flashback to the Episcopalian church. Yep. Yep.
That's why they call the other one is so like a lot of these pieces are ending in again welcome back to the theory zone is they end in 5-1. 5-1 basically means again if 1 is our first note in the scale and this whole piece is being done in F major, so that's F, so it goes 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. Those are the 8 notes in that scale. 5-1 is basically saying we end with the 5 to the 1. So 1 5 1. That's it. That means the end. It's over. Or you hear it coming from underneath. 5 1. Basic tippish. That is like your go-to. You know it's going to work ending of a thing. There is a specific ending that if you are having flashbacks to your Episcopalian childhood, that is a 4-1 ending, which in theory we call a plagal cadence. That is every church you've ever gone to, because instead of 5-1, you get 4-1, which if you've ever been in a church goes, Amen. And it's ruined music for me forever. So I won't use it unless I'm trying to make a point. Did that have anything to do with this song? No, but you come here for the music and you stay for the tangents. So now's the hard part, in which I've pretty much written everything I want, and I'm happy with it, but there's a 4th line that needs to be written.
You play it one
So
more time
what
for
do
me?
we? I can play it one more time for
Yay.
you.
I'm sorry, could you play it again? I got confused.
Okay.
I was staring at the tenor line going, that's not the melody, and then I had to look up and go, oh, right.
Melody's in the alto.
Melody's in the
because
alto.
They deserve
I
a
done
goddamn melody.
Ugh, okay, that's why.
Hold on. Why don't I raise the alto?
That's fair. There's nothing in the soprano. You don't need to futz with that.
Well, it's so I don't have to futz with it later when there is something in the soprano.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay. Crap.
There's room for a soprano line. Don't get summer bugs.
Yep. Just like.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There is other stuff that can and should be written.
Yeah, just what is it though?
Just what is it though is my question. So I will figure it out. We're at what is it? 6:45 now.
Yeah, we've got 15 minutes left. We're making.
If I can the thing is, if I can figure out a soprano line in 15 minutes, that's me done. I just got to copy and paste that 8 times.
Now the question is can I get the lyrics out in 15 minutes? And I'm actually pretty close. So
I believe in you.
Race to the finish. We got this.
No, just like a friendly run to the finish, a friendly walk.
Tandem race.
And
it's a tandem race because both our legs are bound together and we're screaming the whole time. It's a three-legged race of pain.
It's a three-legged race, but for some reason we're on a tandem bicycle, which makes three-leggedness not work. But we're gonna make it, damn it.
It's just us with the tied up, tucked up underneath us while we're pedaling furiously on either side.
Yes.
That's a horrible image. Don't do that. It's a vague meander towards the finish. This is useless to me.
Okay, I got one note in. It's 3 measures in, but I got it.
You nailed it. How the fuck?
So let's see what we can do. Nope, let's take you up a notch, please. Thank you.
Now, the one thing that's very nice about doing the lyrics in Lang Belta, so many open vowels.
Fair.
Because it all ends in O and da, and it's just so nice.
Kid.
That's not a word.
This might be the first time that the soprano has the most boring line in a piece.
I mean, honestly, bless.
And I'm not sorry.
Well, they usually have exciting things, so they can bite me for 3 minutes. So, fun fact: I'm on the second to last verse. That second to last verse that is a travesty. And now to the execution dock, tilly go. To the execution dock, tilly go. To the execution dock, lay my head upon the block. Now, because we're not doing execution blocks, because it's not a guillotine or a hanging in space, the easiest way to execute a person in space is to shunt them into space. It's less nice, really, but do you know what close the door unto the block is in Belta? Close the bap unto the block. Which is
what?
Close the bap unto the block.
The bap onto
the
block.
block. Which I kind of like.
I love that.
That's great. And no more the laws I'll mock. Yeah, done. And no more the laws I'll mock. Jesus.
It's a little ooh-woo-ish.
There was a smidgen of ooh woo.
Pièce de ooh-woo.
Pièce
Un
de
petit,
pièce de la woo. Pièce de l'oo.
Où est le petit ooh-woo in this piece?
God.
Or as the Germans would say, eine kleine ooh-woo.
Eine kleine ooh. That's a shirt.
Right. I studied languages.
That's a shirt, by the way. Eine kleine ooh.
Das ist aber eine kleine ooh-woo. Ja, eine kleine ooh-woo.
Oh, God. Jeez, okay, that happened. Oh, my lord, that's very good, though. Oh. Gotta keep
laughing to keep from crying.
Yep. Little go. Okay, if I take that, take a warning. That works. Yeah. I am so sorry when you're gonna have to take these Belta lyrics and slap them onto something, because it's gonna be an interesting time.
We will make it work.
Yep. Nope, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Is you in Belta? Is it something else? That's took on you. Oh, you is 2. Alright. Oh god, why? Oh, does that make that a veiled threat? Oh, it does make that a veiled threat. That's very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if it's intentional. It might be not. But oh god, your music is crashing again. Hold on, we'll get to that in a second. But
I will. Yeah, we'll deal with it in a second.
So to the execution block, I have the last verse. That last verse I was singing, is constructively annoying because it does ridiculous things. It's to the execution dock I have come till he go, to the execution dock for to sail. I was sick and nigh to death, but I vow with me every breath forgo with wisdom ways when I sail. Now, 2 in Belta can also be you. So if I read to the execution dock I have come, I will as I go, to the execution dock for you sail, is a veiled double threat in which it can sound like to the execution dock to sail I go, as in I'm gonna get spaced, but it's also for the execution dock I have come so that you will also go later, which is like, now that blows my fucking mind if that's intentional. That's fucking cool. I'm not gonna keep it because I have the feeling that's probably like specific to like the story and the character, but
that's fair. Okay, I don't know if this is it, but this is what I got. If you want to switch back, I should be sharing.
All right, let me resize it and fit it. Whoop.
Whoop.
There we go.
Okay. Scotch. Here we go.
Oh, that's very good.
That's pretty.
Do it one more time, because I thought I heard something that I want to hear resolve, but I'm not sure if I wanted to.
There is something in there. I just don't know what it is yet. We kind of have a seventh there.
Yeah, the seventh is a little funky.
Then I can. Da, 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 da. Let's listen to that.
That just mirrors the tenor line now, right?
Yeah. I mean, from a voice leading standpoint, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I was about to say, can we just leave the tenor line as is and then change
The problem is that's an open fifth.
Can we change the... No, just change the soprano line and...
Because it has to be, it's a C major chord.
Yeah.
And if we just bring it back to C, we're just at three
Open fifths.
C's and a G.
Fair.
Which is probably not what we want.
Was it up at the E earlier?
It was at the B, so we were getting a C7.
Can we pop it up to the E and have the line lead up rather than down?
Those poor sopranos. Da, 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 da. That's not it.
Can it be? I want to hear it. I want to hear it with that note there, but I don't know if it'll probably sound like Garbaggio.
I still the tenor line gets da 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 da.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. Now we could laws I did forbid, and most wickedly I did. It's not the world-ending
It's
thing.
not, but I don't like it. Let me hear the whole thing.
In the laws I did forbid, and most wickedly I did till he steered.
Yeah. The reason why I like laws I did forbid, because it leads back up into the hump.
I
of the next one. I know. Can we drop the tenor back down to what it was and then have the soprano line go up rather than down?
Wait, what did you say?
And then drop, because the tenor line wasn't there before, right? It was down.
Right, it was
down below. Yeah. Can we do that?
I just changed it, but let's see what it sounds like.
Yeah.
It's probably the best thing we're gonna get.
Yeah. I think so. All right. From the top.
It's
that's
it is 6:58.
Yeah.
Let's play it.
Yep.
Let's Yeah. Okay. Well, let's play it and then we'll close up shop.
And I finished most of the lyrics.
And there you go.
Measure 7 is funky. That random high... I love you, but that random high note in the soprano feels funky as shit.
It's not random. They literally sing that high note 5 times in that measure.
I know, but the jump sounds weird, my dude. That's all I'm saying.
So we need the F is the problem for the chord. Okay, hold on. There.
Yep. Love you. See? That's great. So, also, the other reason that Josh will start with the melody line, because after that it's, what do I do with all these extra notes I have to put in? Who's singing what where?
Let's try.
Yep. I see what you're doing. I like that.
I'm going back to the F. They're just going to have to deal with it.
Okay.
They've had a bunch of them before. It just... Part writing says it's got to do this. And I think it's pretty.
I think it's pretty. All right. One more time from the top, and then we'll close down the shop.
Well, if that's not a good tagline, I don't know what is.
That's good. That's real
There it
fucking
is.
good.
That's the first verse of the Ballad for the Belta.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna toss this over the lyrics real quick so I can show you what I've been doing here.
Toss us to lyrics. I've one more time thrown up the Tiltify campaign and the petitions as we're closing up. We're done. We're closing down the Tiltify campaign this week.
Yep.
And any money we have made is going directly to the Bail Project. It's going to be great. It's really just a wonderful foundation that is helping keep people out of prison.
I think it might have actually closed already.
Did it close itself?
I have it set to close at a time. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember if I set that time to right after the stream.
Sure. No.
I don't remember if I set that time
No,
to right
I
after
can
the
still
stream.
click on donate.
Oh, no. Oh, God, it's playing our Twitch in mirror. 1 minute. I need to... All right, go away. We'll do that later. Bye.
Yeah, it's still going. It's still going.
Okay, cool. Never mind. I don't
still
remember
going.
what time I set it for.
We're at $130, which is already past our first goal, and we appreciate any money. And, you know, if it gets up to $250, 2 people are going to get a shanty of their very own. If not, and you haven't donated and you would like to donate, $10 or more puts you in the running for your own personal shanty. And the odds are good right now. So we would really appreciate if you can donate to the Bail Project. We have been raising money this month for them. I've also thrown up petitions for Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery. These are all petitioning their governments from the states they were from to actually get off their asses and not only fire but arrest the officers that were responsible for their deaths. We understand that financials are tough. Sometimes it's not in the budget, and we understand that and we get it. But please continue to share these campaigns and these petitions because it really makes a difference, and we really appreciate it. So tell us a little bit about these lyrics before we shut down the show.
All right, so real quick before we finished, all the highlighted parts are the ones that I have to change because they are very specific to the William Kidd story. If you want to look it up, William Kidd was basically a pirate who I think if I remember correctly, it was his first mate, William Moore, who tried to mutiny, so he just murdered him and tossed him in the fucking ocean. And that's sort of where the story got started. So we got to, my parents taught me well for so just even that streamline the construction a little bit so that it matches the original verse flow of what we were doing. Me bang for sound to sound, many ships I found, and being cruel still, my gunner I did kill and sent him for to chill. That worked out super well because space is fucking cold. I don't know if you know this, but it's fucking cold.
So it's a tit nipply out there.
Yeah. So, wow. That's another shirt. It's a very different shirt. It's like the I like eating ass shirt, but.
Do you?
So me was sick and night to death. That's just out of the show, easy peasy. Now in the Expanse version, they covered an extra fourth verse that they didn't even cover in the show, but they did in the version, and then didn't cover the one they did in the show. I don't fucking know. But this originally is my repentance lasted not. The construction in Lang Belta is really confusing, so I just swatched the me out and went, that's that. Moving on. Me vows are soon forgot. Damnation was me lot. Cool. For next you should dock, close the bap unto the block, which is a great fucking line. I'm going to use that forever.
So much.
That's close the door unto the block, as in the block of the ship. Oh, wait. Not block. Lock. I'm smart. Okay, so originally it was an execution block, so I changed it to close the door onto the block, as in the block of the ship, where you would vent some from space. That has a name. It's called an airlock. I'm just gonna chop air off the front and call it a lock. Yep. Boom! I'm a goddamn genius. So
what are we playing dialect up in this bitch?
Yeah. Close the bap unto the lock, which is a great fucking line that I'm just gonna use in that Expanse game now because it's great. And Namo the laws I'll mock. That's fine. Now the last one is funky because you wouldn't know what it says just from looking at it, so let me run you through it. Tenya is have, wa is a, so have a warning from me. Now, interesting enough, because of the way it works, have a warning from me is one less syllable than it is in Long Belta. In Long Belta, it's Tenya warning, Tenya wa warning from me. I'm gonna play with that. It's a little hard to sing right at the moment. It might just be from. I might just get rid of
Tenya wa warning from me. It's doable.
It's doable. We might change it depending on how we look at it, but it's doable if you split it up the way it's supposed to be. And then Enshun, bad company. Lest to come for hell with me, lest you come to hell with me, for you sail. Actually, I'm going to change that last one, because take a warning now from me before you sail, lest you come to hell with me as you sail.
Perf. I love it.
Boom. So that we got it. We got it. That's a song in 15 minutes. I actually don't even think I need this verse here.
You can honestly, chop it.
Honestly, just
no one's gonna
fucking know.
I mean, you know, sure, there's 9 people here that do know, but if you fucking say anything.
So all you do is come up with a fictional Belta,
and
or
we can
something else to replace with id.
And look, you know what? If you can think of something, a fictional Belter or a name that rhymes with id, at us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Hey, what are our Twitters?
Hey! So, once again, yeah, our Twitter Thicc Notes up there in the center. That's where you can find us. We're going to post up, as we finish the projects and as we get them sorted into sheet music, we're going to throw them up.
We promise.
They promise. Might be, and then what we might do later on is since we're trying to figure that out later. No.
We're not putting Sid in it.
I'm not killing Sid in a song. Well, actually. But
no.
Anyway. You can tell which characters my PC's like. So, other than that, we're probably, what we'll do is, we'll do that. I think what we might do is if we ever record them, we'll throw them up on Patreon, so you can listen to, like, a Patreon kind of thing. So we can, get a little bit of something out of writing all this stuff for people, but also, like, we do want to share it with you for the most part.
Yeah. We want to share it and make it something that you can just grab and use and, get some people together and sing if you want.
So we'll do is we'll throw you we'll throw you some of the stuff up there on Twitter as well, so you can sort of see that. We'll toss up later a link to the version that we're using and the version from The Expanse as well. I'll throw that up on the subtweet underneath the announcement for this stream. And other than that,
I mean, that's pretty much us. I mean,
honestly,
thank you.
That's my thing. Take it once from the top.
Yeah.
For now,
I'll take it before we
we're
go
gonna
and
close
say,
this shop.
Yeah. Thank you for stopping by Shanty Shoppe this week. Our hours, as always, are every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern. It's the shortest running shop in the face of capitalism, and it doesn't cost you a cent. So hopefully you'll come and join us again next week. But for now, we're going to take Ballad for the Belta from the top for our first verse, and then we're going to call it a day.
Yeah.
As always, I am at JBlueTenor.
And I'm at Ryamasa.
And we are at Thicc Notes.
Yeah.
And I'm not sharing this screen anymore, John. Why'd you make me go back?
I didn't do anything. I was just using your line, and you decided to interpret that as I'm going to play that, and I went, oh, okay.
You said take it from the top.
I did. I didn't mean, like, impulsively now, as if... All right, one more time.
That is the Ballad for the Belta.
Never mind, I can hit the bass lines. I tried. I warmed up a little bit, and we're good.
Excellent. Good to know.
All right, folks.
Thank you for watching. If you can think of a good name for William Kidd, please at us. And if you can think of a good way that we should close, like a good closing line for Shanty Shoppe, also add us on Twitter, because I got nothing.
Here's my closing line for today. It's 7:10 p.m. We're late. Bye-bye.
I love it. See you next week.